and welcome to this week's episode of the On Air Advocate. This week, our weekly focus is type 1 diabetes, and I could think of no better way than people learning about it from my good friend, Cambrya. And Cambrya is going to be how old?
9 or 10 in a week.
In a week. And then our friend and my son, Marcus, are going to help us out today as well.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to find out from you, because there's other kids that have this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you find out about this? Was it like, were you like outside one day or at a friend's house, or what made you go to the doctor?
Well, I think it was partly because I was playing a lot outside and I kept eating, and then I was outside for so long, and then I took a bath one day and my stomach started hurting really badly, like really bad stomach pain.
Okay.
And then we figured out I had type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
And I had to keep drinking water. I was so
Good. Well,
dehydrated.
so it was because you had noticed, your parents had know like you were drinking a lot?
Yeah. Like I was drinking
Okay.
a lot of water like every day. My stomach was constantly hurting. Whenever I ate, it started just feeling more weird.
Okay, and that's one of the signs of it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what any of the other signs are?
Um,
Well, your mom's over there. She doesn't have to be on camera. Do you know who some of the signs are? It's the
She also had to go to the bathroom a lot.
going to the bathroom a lot? Okay. And so you went in and you find this out. And then you're like, and then what?
And
So
then-
how did things have to change once you found out?
like I was like all of a sudden in the hospital. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening with my body right now.
12 hours in the emergency room.
12 hours you
yeah.
spent in the emergency room?
And I couldn't eat too, so I was really hungry after that.
Okay. And something I find really impressive about you is that every time we go out to eat and every time we have food, you're really good at like calculating everything and doing everything. So if somebody doesn't know, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have this, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know what kids like you and others that have it in adults go through. Okay. So what do you have to do every day to keep yourself safe?
Well, I normally have my Lantus shot at the ending of the day because it gets me through the night and makes sure that my blood sugar is good in the morning.
Now, what is that? That's a type of a shot that you take at
Yeah.
night?
It's like
And what is it called?
the Lantus. It's like, I think I have it.
She brought her goodie bag of things to show us so
and
we
then,
know.
So this is it. Every month we have to change it because it gets old. This is it.
Can we show
it's
the
just
camera
like a
here?
pen. And then you have to put like a needle on top of the,
Okay, and so you get this every single night.
yeah.
Okay, and that just makes sure that during the night everything is
Everything's fine, yeah.
good. Okay, but then during the day, like when you wake up in the morning, I know you have your notepad. What do you have to do? You have a notepad, right, that you write stuff down? Can we see that?
I write stuff down in my notepad. Here's what I did today.
Okay,
And then
so
I have-
she calculates all of her numbers together to come out with the equation that lets them know how much insulin you should get, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the different tools that you have to do to measure that that are in your bag?
Well, I have my testing kit, so this is it. And then
Do you want to bring it a little closer so they can
Yeah.
see it?
And then there's the strips. So you have to put these
Here, let me show everybody.
strips. They're like little strips. And then there's something that pokes it. And then
So you
put
use a
your
needle
blood.
that pokes it,
Yeah.
right? And then you
And
take your
then-
blood.
Yeah. And then you would put it into the machine.
And if I can merge it into this video, I did a video of that at the restaurant today. So maybe I got that good enough and I can merge it into there so they
Yeah.
can see. If not, I'll make a separate video with that. And then after you check it, what happens?
Well, I normally have to eat breakfast, but if I'm really high, I normally get my insulin first. So this is what
Okay.
the outside case looks
Ooh,
like.
that's a fancy case.
And then it kind of looks like a pen.
Look, and it comes in a leather.
It kind of looks like a pen, like it
Let's
looks like
see.
a pen with the cap.
Now,
on
is there
it.
stuff already inside of here, or do
Yeah.
you have to add it inside?
Well, there's stuff already inside, so it's just like the Lantus.
Okay.
So there's stuff already inside. So like this is like the unit mark of how many units would be in here and
Okay,
stuff.
and then does that get like refilled every month or?
Every time we normally run out, but at school every month we change it.
Okay, so do you keep one separately at school, or do you keep, just you have one that goes with you, this bag goes with you everywhere?
Well, this bag goes with my dad and my mom.
Okay.
And then the school has their own kit and stuff.
Oh, so they have
already
all
at
their
school.
own stuff, and how are they? Are they pretty good with making sure that everything gets measured and stuff right?
Oh, yeah.
And then do you help them with that?
Yeah, I do. I help them with adding carbs if I don't eat all my hot lunch or all my cold lunch
Oh,
that
okay.
I'm having. So I help them with that, and I help them add up the carbs. And when Mrs. Tubbs is busy on a call, I normally divide up all the stuff by myself sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what else is in your bag? I know you had, I think you had a few more things, and
Yeah,
what are they for?
Well, I have this. It's for emergencies. It's called the glucagon.
The
It's for
glucagon.
It's for emergencies.
That sounds
So
very...
when you're low and like you faint, there's like a bottle of sugar and stuff.
Okay, so it's all in there, all ready for
Yeah.
you to go,
And
right?
then you would get all the stuff into here, and then I would have to shoot it into my leg or wherever.
Okay, so that's if you're like really bad, like you're crashing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's when you would need that. Have you ever needed that before?
No.
You haven't? Well, that's really good. That's kind of like for kids that have food allergies that have to have an EpiPen, like
Yeah.
when something really severe happens. And Marcus, he has an EpiPen, so we know about that too. So that's what this is for. It's sort of those emergency situations, right?
Yeah.
Now, what'd you say? Since you found out, is there anything else in your bag first? Are we missing
well-
anything?
When me and my mom, so whenever I throw up, I would have to take these pills, because if I throw up, I would ever need this. When I throw up, it would prevent me to not throw up.
Because if you were throwing up a lot, that would also
Yeah.
throw all your stuff off, right?
Yeah, because then I would start getting low, because I'm throwing up all that food that I got insulin for.
Okay, okay. Now, what would you say? Oh, let's see what else is in there.
And then I also have needles for all my stuff, so it's really low right now, but here's what it looks like. It's just screen. Some of them are different colors depending. Here's where I keep them in this little.
She keeps it in her penguin case. So you've kind of made things kind of your own, right?
And this is
in
what
your
it
bag?
looks like when it's used. So the green
Is it-
part you can throw away, but you can also
Right, because
keep it
the
on
green part
optional.
is the needle,
Yeah.
and that you have to dispose
And
of
then,
safely.
Yeah, but you don't have. You can actually put the green part on with it.
Okay,
So like it's optional if you want to keep it on or off.
okay, all right. Now, how long have you had this?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And what would you say has changed for you in the last 2.5 years? Like, if there's other kids that are just finding out about this, what are some things that have maybe made it easier, or things that have changed in the way that you've had to do things? And how do you go through it with being so positive? Because every time I see you, you just get out your pad of paper and you add it all up, and
Yeah.
you're so good about it.
I feel like you just need to be on the positive side, and it's definitely that I balance out my food diet. Like I sometimes I eat like cookies or something. Like normally, sometimes I eat dessert.
Okay.
So and then I have normally protein and then some grains. And
Okay.
sometimes I have like some fun foods like pizza or like ramen noodles or just regular noodles.
But then you have to make up for that, right? Like within
Yeah.
you adjust your stuff,
Yeah,
right?
kind of like I eat protein one day and then I would eat like something maybe more unhealthy than something else. It kind of balances out my blood sugar.
And what do you think makes it so that you keep such a positive attitude? How do you think about it? Just like, it's something that you have to do, so you're going to do it and make sure that you're safe and you don't want to be sick?
Well, I
or
think it's kind of cool having a disease like this because I feel like everybody's like, oh my God, that girl's getting a shot. She's so brave.
So it has its perks
Yeah.
sometimes by having it. But you are very, very, very cautious. And
Yeah.
so I think that's what other kids need to hear, is that if they have it, they really need to make sure that they're doing as good as you're doing, where they're accepting that they can't always have a certain food,
Yeah.
and they're writing it down and they're being diligent about it, because what can happen if you go over? You can get really, really
Yeah,
sick.
like when I went to the hospital, I was first in the 800s. So we went to the hospital that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really wacky day because it was in the summertime, and normally every day of summer I would go outside at one point of the day.
Okay.
And I didn't, and I was just feeling off. And then now I know that, like, I'm sure, like, I can't eat, like, all the candies I want without getting dosed. Like, protein's one of my main things now. I feel like protein's something that a kid would want. I feel like cheese is something I can have without getting dosed.
Okay, what are other things that you possibly can have without having to be so cautious? What are your safe foods?
Well, probably eggs, sausages, like steak, all those meats.
Steak. So that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, and then like sugar-free stuff. Sugar-free
Okay.
stuff is really mean. Like, I have sugar-free sodas and stuff, so I can drink them.
Okay, so those are kind of like freebies a little bit. You don't have to be quite as cautious.
Yeah, no, I really don't. There's 0 carbs in them, so it's really good.
Okay, so you're allowed to have, are you allowed to have anything that has 0 carbs?
Yes, I am.
As much of it as you want, or do you still have to like
I have
still
to
kind of watch it?
because like protein, if I have too much protein, it can throw me way off.
Okay.
So I have to be cautious about how much protein I'm eating.
Okay.
And another thing that I also feel like I have to be cautious on is how much I'm eating before dinner time of this protein. Because if I eat too
Okay.
much, I'm not going to want to eat dinner, and that's going to throw me way off too.
Right, so what you're saying to everybody is even kids that have this or adults, because I do know this week I'm interviewing a woman who has it as an adult, which isn't, quite as common. Sometimes a lot of people think of type 1 as always for kids, but there are adults as well. But you're saying that you really got to stay on track, like your
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can't be like having breakfast in the middle of lunch and then lunch
Yeah.
at dinner time and then eating again at midnight, right?
The only parts that are really wacky is in like on Saturdays, cause I eat waffles so late, and my lunch is normally late too, but my dinner's always late. Like, it's normally later in the evening.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you have enough time in between, right?
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to be eating and then you don't want to eat right away again,
They're supposed
right?
to say like 4 hours apart. Like when I was younger in 2nd grade, when I first got it, I would eat a snack. So it would have to be 2 hours apart. I would eat a snack in the middle of those 4 hours.
Okay.
So I would eat one in the afternoon and the morning, right? And then we switched off morning, and then we went to afternoon, I think.
Okay. And I know that I've seen with your mom when we've eaten out before, she also, there's different areas, like when you get your shots, what is that all about? Like she alternates where the shots are?
Well, the main thing is, like, it's going to get really bruised up, and it hardens. It like, hardens my skin when I get my shot.
Okay.
So she wants to rotate for preventing that to happen.
Okay.
So she wants to make sure, because when I have diabetes soon, my legs, if she just kept doing it in the same spot, it would be all,
Bruised.
like, hard and bruised over there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we go, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all those days. So we go up.
Like up your leg.
Yeah, and then at lunchtime we alternate up here too.
Okay.
And we also do left and rights. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays left. Wait, Wednesdays, and Fridays are left, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are right.
Okay.
And some days I get to have a freebie for what side I pick. So I could just pick a side, and I'm like, which one do I do less? And it's normally the right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to definitely do that too.
Well, is there anything else, any other tips or anything else you'd have to say about having type 1? But I think you're just an inspiration all the way around. That's all I have to say.
I think it would be partly that you get to have desserts and sweets,
Yeah.
anything you want. It's all about
Like, people ask me, like, can you have, like, sugar anytime you want to? Like, I feel like you never have any class treats. And I'm like, I can, but I have to get a shot every time I do that. So everybody wonders, and they're like, can you even eat sugar? So I tell them yes, because I can.
And do you find it's easier? I always say this with kids. is that, you know, like kids in your class and stuff, if you just explain it to them, you know, sometimes when kids don't know things,
yeah.
you know, they're always curious, and sometimes that can lead to other kids not being always nice and stuff like that.
yeah.
Do you feel like at school you seem very informative? Like, do you just tell the kids at school, hey, this is it, this is the way it is?
Everybody like knows that at my school. Everybody in my grade knows that really.
Okay.
So, and most 5th and 6th and 3rd graders know that too because I'm friends with a lot of them.
Okay. But I like that you explain that to them, that, you know, you're just choosing that you're not going to have your sugars
Yeah.
sometimes, but that you're allowed to have them, but then that requires you to take medication if you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's awesome. All right. Well, I thank you very much for sharing with us. If we have any more questions, how do we get a hold of you?
I don't know. Call my mom.
Call your mom.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to have a YouTube channel one day, or do you already have a YouTube channel?
I do, but I was playing with slime.
Oh, she has a slime YouTube channel. But maybe one day when you get older, you'll have one about type 1
Yeah.
diabetes, right?
Maybe you should tell them to like and subscribe your channel so they can get more views. Plug every
like
single day.
and subscribe to Gaming with Cam.
Gaming with Cam.
That's
Yeah.
the one, yeah.
You can change that up over time too. You could put a little slime, a little bit of teaching about type 1, a little bit of slime,
A little bit of Nerf gun.
a little bit of Nerf guns. It would be awesome.
And then what you gotta do is to get more people to watch, you gotta say, if we reach this high of subscribers, I'll do something next even crazier than the first
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, I think maybe the next time we'll do a video on Nerf guns and slime. Sound good? All right, so on that note, you all can check out our videos as well as our podcasts at www.onairadvocate.com. Anything motivational to say, because tomorrow's Monday. What do you got to say for it? What about you? Anything?
Stay positive and stay strong.
Stay positive and stay strong.
We're starting a new semester.
Stay focused and don't eat too much sugar.
And subscribe to our channel.
And subscribe to our channel. All right.
Gaming with
Hey,
Cam,
where's your
link in
thumb?
the
Where's your
description
thumb? Where's your thumb?
below.
Get that like up to 30,000 likes.
Bye-bye now. God bless.
Bye.